What a show tonight. I'm so pumped out right now, dude. I really am. That entire show was fantastic. The ladder match was perfect. Was a perfect way to kick things off on the show tonight. The unsanctioned match was great. And man, there are so many things that we need to talk about this show. CM Punk meets MJF next week in CM Punk's hometown of Chicago. And we will go over everything that happened here tonight on the show. This is the Best Wrestling Podcast on TikTok, and this is the place and the only place that you need to be on your Wednesday night. This is Outside the Brand. We'll talk to you guys in just a little bit. What's up, y'all? We are here. This is just an amazing show. I got my boy Nate with me. And man, this is absolutely one of the best shows of the year for AEW so far. And we're only a couple weeks in. We're only a few weeks into 2022, and this was one of the best shows that they have ever produced in the 3 years that they have been a company. This is Outside the Brand. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us right here on the podcast. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for your AEW Dynamite Beach Break post-show review right here on the podcast. It's January 26th, 2022. Man, all I have to say is what a show. Nate kicking things off with the ladder match was absolutely amazing. And that ladder match will go down as one of the best matches, not only in AEW history, but I believe that'll be one of the best ladder matches that will be talked about in over the last 5 years. Seriously, that ladder match was absolutely insane.
Yeah, I agree with you, Phil. What's going on, OTB fam? But yeah, man, that ladder match, those spots by Sammy, fantastic. Like, oh my God, man.
Yeah. Sami Guevara is just a fucking beast.
Yeah, Sammy showed everybody why he's called the Spanish God tonight.
Yes, 100% agree with you there. We also had the Inner Circle in a trios match tonight, and the Inner Circle is probably one of the most intriguing things about AEW right now when it comes to the inner workings of their implosion. Like Chris Jericho hitting a Judas effect on the outside, and pretty much Santana and Ortiz not really realizing it up until the ending of the match, where they showed it on replay for everybody. It's one of the most intriguing storylines when it comes to the implosion of the Inner Circle, and I just can't wait to see what happens from here. Like, that's going to be an absolutely amazing story to tell.
Yeah, same. I'm just waiting for them to implode to see what happens down the line with their story. So just waiting to see what happens with that.
And I'd be remiss if I did not talk about the two superstars that are on the thumbnail tonight. Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy had an amazing unsanctioned lights out match tonight. It wasn't the best unsanctioned lights out match that we've had here in AEW out of the 6 that we have had, 6 now counting this one. But man, it was still an amazing match, and these guys have such great chemistry together that it was going to be good regardless.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I was explaining to Phil, I said that it wasn't as extreme as I thought it would be from looking at previous lights out matches earlier today.
And we did look at a ton of lights out. A ton of the lights out matches.
Yeah, I looked at about like 3 or 4 different ones. But Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a little bit more extreme, but man, like still Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole killed it tonight. They had some amazing spots in that match too, especially the finish off the top of the top of the entrance on the
Yep.
stage. Yeah, so
It always amazes me that they get up there. Like
I was
they somehow do it, and they obviously have platforms or whatever to get on there, and I know it's not just like a thin tunnel that is there for the superstars to go in and come out of, but and I know it's a legit tunnel and everything that they go through, and obviously we've seen technically what everything looks like tonight when they actually went backstage to the gorilla position with Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn, and they did a whole powerbomb spot through the table.
yeah,
But it always amazes me that they just get up there and you don't really actually realize how high that thing actually is up until when they actually do camera angles and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
right, yeah, it was amazing.
So, speaking of Cole and Orange Cassidy, I think we can all pretty much agree on this point that Cole is one of the best in the world when it comes to the work rate that he possesses. And I don't think really anybody can kind of debate me on that. Adam Cole's one of the best in the world in professional wrestling today. Orange Cassidy is amazing at what he does too, as he just brings a different type of dynamic into a pro wrestling match that you just can't help but gravitate towards. This guy, you may not get it at first if you're just watching Orange Cassidy for the first time, but if you've been watching Orange Cassidy like we have for the past 3 years here in AEW, you know he can be silly, but he can also be serious too. And when
Right.
he does flip that switch to that seriousness, he's absolutely one of the best professional wrestlers in all of AEW. So these two had an amazing match. They have amazing in-ring chemistry together. And at the end of the day, this will go down as one of the good mini feuds here in AEW. And I applaud Tony Khan for allowing this all to happen.
Yeah, I like their feud a lot. Like Phil said, if you're just watching Orange Cassidy, you may think he's like an R-Truth type character, which he pretty much is. But once he
Talks a lot
turns,
less than Archer, so.
yeah, he's like super quiet, super laid back character. But once he flipped that switch, like Phil said, he's super amazing in the ring. He added like a couple funny spots in this match too,
Yeah.
but man, he's amazing. Him and Adam Cole has amazing chemistry. It's kind of sad to see their feud done, hopefully, but yeah, like both of those guys are amazing in the ring, and I can't wait to see what both of them do in the future going forward. So but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Heck yeah. So speaking about these two, just a little bit more Adam Cole than Orange Cassidy for just a quick moment. I already see people on Twitter going absolutely crazy, shouting at AEW that Adam Cole is completely buried. But I'm telling you guys right now, Adam Cole is nowhere near buried in AEW. I don't know where these people get it. I don't know where these people get their opinions from. Like, there's a difference between buried and losing a match. Like I told you, Nate, before the show. That, like, when it comes to getting buried, like, I hate bringing this group up because it always brings a sour taste in everybody's mouth because of just the way that everything was handled and just the way everything ended at SummerSlam that year. And Nate, I think I know. I hope you would know where I'm actually going with this. That's Nexus.
Yeah.
that entire group at SummerSlam that year. That's what I call buried. This was just a loss of the match. And the thing is, at the end of the day, guys, this is not going to count towards Adam Cole's record. It's an unsanctioned, lights-out match. Anything goes. Nothing is really on the line here. It doesn't count towards their record. It's a match used to end I wouldn't say like a blood feud, but a major feud that's happening in AEW. And with the way everything was going between the Best Friends and the Elite, I kind of saw Orange winning this. So don't worry, Adam Cole is not buried. He'll be fine. He is still ranked number 1. But I just kept seeing that, and I wanted to bring that up. You think Adam Cole's buried, Nate?
Nah, I don't believe so. I'm about to say Adam Cole is
He's bulletproof at this point. He's so good.
I'm about to say Adam Cole is one of the best wrestlers in AEW today. I'm about to say obviously he's number 1 for a reason. This guy has been so good for years, Phil. And me being an Adam Cole fan, like, nah, he's not buried, bro. I'm about to say Adam Cole is gonna be okay. He's going for that AEW World Championship one day. And when he does, I'm gonna flip out.
I feel like it's gonna be a revolution. There's no
I feel
way
like it's gonna be soon.
Yeah, there's no way he's not gonna like be ranked number 1 and then not get a title shot at the upcoming pay-per-view. Like, I feel like it's gonna be soon. And the thing is, I feel like if you're gonna put Adam Cole in a world championship, you kind of almost have to give it to him. Right. But the thing is, I feel like Adam Page, like, his championship reign has been so up and down for me, and I don't know what it is. Adam Page, I feel like he should not lose that championship yet, but if you're going up against Adam Cole, who would you rather have champion, Adam Cole or Adam Page? I don't know. Like, there's such a big debate right there, and it's weird, but we'll get there when we cross that bridge. But yeah, so Adam Cole, Orange Cassidy, great stuff. We'll talk about the special appearance that happened when we actually get to that match, because, man, we know who it is. If you know Ring of Honor, you know who it is. If you don't, you were probably just as confused as some of the people in the crowd were. But then once they actually saw the face of that guy, then everybody marked the heck out. And rightfully so. This guy that we're going to be talking about in the main event is absolutely one of the best professional wrestlers in Ring of Honor. So yes, we'll talk about him in just a quick moment as the show goes on. But guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in right here on Outside the Brand. We're going to be talking about everything that happened here tonight on the podcast. I want you guys to continue to support the channel in any way that you can. You guys can follow us on social media. All the TikTok links for everybody that is a part of OTB is down in the description below. You can follow me on Twitter. I was tweeting live all night tonight about I did tweet about Outside the Brand, but I tweeted all night about AEW Dynamite at PhillyMatt_. And you can follow me on Instagram at the exact same at PhillyMatt_. And also, continue to hit the subscribe button down below. And don't forget to turn on that bell for all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. Also, please don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button. Guys, guess what? If you turn that thumbs up button, hey, Nate, what color does it turn? What color does the thumbs up button turn if you hit it?
If you hit the thumbs up button, I believe it turns blue.
it turns blue. That's right. And I know we all like blue. Blue is for SmackDown, right? So I know we all love blue. Let's get this video up to 10 likes. Let's get this stream to 10 likes for AEW Beach Break. And let's make that thumbs up button turn blue for all of us to enjoy. Get that thing up to 10, and we'll be good to go. Make sure to go to bonfire.com. That is the official home and the only place where you can get official outside the brand merchandise. I can't believe I'm actually saying that now. I was waiting so long to add that into the intro. It's so good. It feels so good to say that. All the
Just
merch you
comes
need for
natural,
outside the brand. Yeah, all the merch for outside the brand is right there on that website. So yeah, when that store is officially live, because the store is not live yet, everybody is still trying to get their versions of their merch up there. Once it goes live, though, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going to click that publish button. That store is going to be live, and you guys will be ready and able to get your stuff for official outside the brand merchandise. It's going to be absolutely insane. But I do want to let you guys know, bonfire.com is the only place where you can get official outside the brand merch when it is already for you guys. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. The quality of everything that you guys will be getting is absolutely it's great. It really is. We've taken a look at everything on the site so far, and man, it's so good. It's so good. So you guys will be the first ones to know when that store does go live. So I want you guys to not only do that, but I want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you guys have given us so far as a podcast here on YouTube. It's an amazing accomplishment to see that we are 124 episodes strong in this podcast, and we continue to grow each and every time that we are here live. We may not realize it at the time, and it may be a slow growth, but man, we are doing something special. We just launched that whole merch store and everything when that whole big announcement tease came into play. But yeah, like we're doing something special here, and you guys are in it for the long haul. Like I've seen Nate, and you can attest to this. We have seen so many outside the brand OGs in here. Josh is one of them. Betty Lou. It took her. Listen, it took me a long time to trust Betty Lou, because Betty Lou she was trolling for a little bit, but then all of a sudden we smoothed things out and everything was great. But Betty Lou is absolutely amazing. Josh is amazing. We see so many outside the brand OGs in here. WWE Fan 100, I definitely do know of. James Evans, Venom the guy. I definitely feel like I've seen him before in this chat, but if you're new, still welcome to the OTB fam. And there are so many other outside the brand OGs. If I do forget your guys' names, I apologize. But there are so many outside the brand originals that man, it's absolutely great.
Yeah. You got Aiden, you got Mo, Josh,
Aiden, Mo. I mean, obviously Tanya. Tanya's been with us for so long. Betty Lou was a struggle to get through. Yes, she was. But hey, it's all right. Once we figured out that everything was all good and ready to go with her, it was absolutely an amazing journey. Just not only just to get to know her, but everything going on with everything. So, man, it was a long ride, but we're still here, 124 episodes strong, and we are not going anywhere. If you guys are in it for the long haul, so are we. So it's going to be an absolutely amazing ride, and I hope you guys are strapped in, because it's going to be a good one. It was a bumpy ride at first, but once we actually got there, we're good to go. We're smooth sailing. we changed the tires. We changed the tires on the on everything, and we're good to go. It's a smooth ride. So thank you guys so much for all the support. We love you guys. But let's get right in to the review of Beach Break, everybody. Beach Break is here. Let's go. Man, it was so good. It was so good. Man. Let's get right into it, guys. Okay, so right here. Let's get it right there. Boom. Come on. Load up. Thank you. Good boy. We start off with the TNT Championship ladder match. Both superstars are actually already in the ring. Justin Roberts did do the introductions for everybody, but they were already in the ring. They were actually live on YouTube, setting everything up for the ladder match, just before 8 o'clock hit us on the East Coast. And yeah, they were making their entrance. They were setting up the ladders for everybody. It was actually a pretty cool experience. So I think they still have it on their YouTube channel, so you guys can go check that out. But yeah, we started off with the TNT Championship ladder match to unify both championships. People were getting confused on Twitter, calling it the Undisputed TNT Championship. Don't worry, guys. It's not going to be called that. They just needed a name so that they could unify the championships, and the Undisputed Championship was just a way they could do it. It's still going to be called the WWE Championship, and not the Jesus Christ. Sorry, my God.
Wrong company.
I was thinking Cody Rhodes Royal Rumble Forbidden Door WWE Rumble. No, don't worry, guys. He's not appearing in the Rumble. It's still going to be called the TNT Championship. Don't worry. But yeah, I saw people getting confused on the why it was called the Undisputed TNT title. Did you get a little bit confused by that, or was it just whatever to you?
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was more just paying attention to the match. Yeah, I wasn't really, paying attention to Undisputed unification. Yeah, I didn't care. I just want to see a good match, and that's what we saw. So
right. So we had the TNT Championship ladder match between Cody Rhodes and Sami Guevara, and man, this ladder match was so good. We saw so many great spots, dude. If I read the entire match, you'd be here for like maybe an hour. But yeah, so I'm gonna just I'm gonna go from that insane cutter spot from Sammy. So Cody climbs the ladder that is pretty much right underneath the both TNT championships, and Sami Guevara climbs a different ladder, and then he springboards off his ladder and hits a flying cutter to Cody all the way down to the floor below. Well, not the floor, but the ring canvas. That move was absolutely fucking phenomenal. Nothing about this was messed up. Like, he did this perfectly. I was just mesmerized by just the absolute, just not only guts that I had to take, but man, just the sheer awe of everything. Like, that was absolutely one of the coolest spots I have ever seen in a ladder match, period. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was so
and he took it like champs too.
Yeah, it was so clean.
Yeah, it was clean. That's what I'm trying to get out. Dude. Man. When you saw that, like, what were you thinking? Because I was just after I marked out, I was just standing there, mouth agape, just in awe.
I was pretty much the same way. Like on the live on TikTok, we were watching it, and when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yo, that was so clean." I'm like, the ladder didn't. Since you told me that the referees were holding the ladder, but I was like, still like the execution of it was just so perfect. Like you couldn't get
And
better
people
than
were
that.
so mad that he was holding the ladder too.
Yeah, like
Dude, if he
the
didn't hold the ladder, bad things could have happened.
right, it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah,
But yeah, that spot was so perfect. It was just beautiful, man. Just beautiful.
okay. This Nora Jada? Yeah, you're gone. We have a troll in here, boys and girls.
Hey, boo, tomatoes.
So yeah, get the tomatoes in the chat. We haven't used that in a little bit, but get the tomatoes in the chat. Thank you guys in the chat for pointing that out to me. You guys don't think as some people don't think I actually don't look at the chat, but I do, and especially when it comes to a goddamn troll like Nora was right there. So so we had that springboard cutter through both ladders. Cody pushes Guevara's legs through the ring rungs of the ladder and locks in a figure four, which looked goddamn brutal. Cody then sets up a ladder in the middle, hits a palm strike on Sami Guevara, and then he chops him in the corner. Gevara then fires out of the corner with a lariat, a step up into Giri, and Cody throws a ladder and at Gevara. Cody then climbs the ladder. Gevara then climbs a different. Sorry, I was about to read the read the cutter spot again.
I was sitting here like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so it's all right. It's fine. Gevara traps Cody underneath the rungs of the ladder, and then he climbs. This is the spot. Okay. Cody tips the ladder over, and Gevara hits the mat below. Cody then climbs the ladder. Gevara sets up a smaller ladder next to it. Both men trade strikes, and Cody hits a crossroads off the top of the ladder. So these guys are going crazy.
Yeah, that was beautiful too.
It was good. I can't say enough about these two. These two are absolutely insane. So they hit a crossroads off that ladder. So Cody then climbs the ladder again, and Gevara springs up after him. Cody reaches for the belt, but both men were hanging from the belt holder. So like the actual, I think of it as like a gosh dang hanger for like your clothes. Like they legitimately just strap it around the little bar, and it's just a little hook that you have to unhook it from. But yeah, so they were hanging from that hanging platform for the titles, and the referee actually moved the ladder away, which I was kind of a little bit taken aback by that. But then once they actually just dropped themselves down to the mat below, I kind of understood why. But yeah, so they fall. They fall off of the platform. Fuego del Sol runs down and shouts at Cody when Cody was about to slam Guevara's legs in a ladder at ringside. And Cody then hits a Tiger Driver 98 on Fuego. And man, I keep seeing him do the kick and then the underhook. Every time I fall for it, he's going for the pedigree, but he's not. He's Tiger Driver, and I fall for it every time. Hit it, Cody. We want you to hit the pedigree.
I was sitting there too. I'm like,
we want you to.
Yeah, I was like, bro, is he about to hit the pedigree? And I was like, oh, no, that's not it.
We want you to hit the pedigree. It is okay. It is okay. You're going to get booed regardless. Just hit it and solidify your heel turn. It is okay. So he hits the Tiger Driver on Fuego. Gevara then flies in and throws Cody out of the ring. Gevara then hits a suicide dive on Cody and hits a GTH on the outside. Looked beautiful. Looked great. Gevara then gets a ladder from under the ring, and Gevara then sets up Cody on the ladder, bridge on the barricade. This was a crazy spot too. Gevara then sets up a giant ladder and climbs up it. Gevara then hits a swanton bomb onto Cody Rhodes. And man, when I say that ladder, first of all, that ladder had no give, so it did not bend. Second off,
man,
the back of Sami Guevara bent in ways that a back should not be bent, and then all of a sudden he just lands flat on his face because the impact of it actually flipped him another way around, and he just landed face first. It looked absolutely fucking brutal. I don't envy Sami Guevara for taking that spot. He can take those spots all he wants, but man, Sammy, please be careful. That was way too fucking risky. Yeah.
I am the ladder.
Yeah. Instead of I am the table, it's I am the goddamn ladder. That was way too fucking risky.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say that shows that AEW don't have the WWE ladders. They have real steel ladders that don't give out.
Oh, and they definitely don't fucking have the the GCW ladders. The GCW ladders legitimately they went to Home Depot that night and they got ladders. And they bought ladders.
Oh man. We're gonna be joking about that for a while.
I'm gonna be joking about GCW forever on this podcast because that show was that bad. Ugh. I mean, Raw was even better than that show on Sunday. And that's saying something.
Yeah.
Looking back at it though, dude, Monday Night Raw was honestly not that bad of a show. I probably did give it way too much hate than I should have last night, but I mean on Monday, but hey, it's whatever. Raw 99% of the time is usually terrible. And then this one they just wanted to say, hey.
It was the freaking academic challenge for me that just took my morale all the way down.
Yeah.
I was like,
Mons, you know what to do. GCW, yeah, it was that bad, Josh. You should see my review. You should see the review right here on Outside the Brand. It's there on the channel. If you guys want to see how badly I reviewed that GCW show, it's on that channel. I did it solo, but that's because Nate passed out during the main event, and it was only 5 minutes. But that's okay. I would have passed out too, but I actually had to watch that shit. And then I don't think really anybody else from Outside the Brand actually watched the show. So I did. It was terrible.
1C did. Yeah,
1C did.
Because Nick Gage was there, so.
Yeah. And he was in that 5-minute main event. 5-minute main event. That to me is even worse. But okay, we're not here to talk about GCW. So hit a Tiger Driver 98 on Fuego. Gevara flies down. So he does the suicide dive. GTH does that does that big swanton bomb onto Cody. Ladder does not move a fucking inch. Gevara gets in the ring, sets up a ladder, and then Gevara climbs to the belts. Cody then wakes up from the dead and climbs on the other side. Strikes back and forth on top of the ladder. Gevara hits Cody with one of the championship belts, and Cody falls to the mat below. Gevara then pulls down both TNT titles and gets the win. He is now technically, in just what they were calling it, the undisputed TNT champion, but he will just be known as the TNT champion next week, and he won't be holding 2 championships, so don't worry. But yeah, he's the TNT champion. What did you think? Do you think the right move was to have Sammy win this match?
The right move, I would say yes. I actually expected Cody to retain.
I expected Cody to retain too.
Yeah,
honestly, I think he should have. Honestly, I think he should have really.
I expected Cody.
That might just be me though.
Yeah, I was like, because when I saw Sammy win, I was kind of surprised.
Completely shocked.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Completely
and I was like, okay. I was happy because like that's who I wanted to win, but I don't know. I was about to say we'll see down the line. I was about to say I don't know.
I love Sammy. You guys know I love Sammy. I think Sammy's great. I think Sammy is absolutely one of the best they got going there. He's one of the 4 pillars of this company for a reason. But now let me take a look at Sami Guevara real quick. Okay, so I'm on Sami Guevara's Wikipedia page right now. I thought the way that they were going to do this was because with him being the undisputed TNT champion, I thought that would have been technically a secondary, not a secondary, but like another championship reign for him.
Mm-hmm.
Considering when he won the TNT championship on that the interim TNT title from Dustin on that Battle of the Belt show, that's when he became a 2-time TNT champion.
Yeah.
They're still holding it as 2-time. He's still a 2-time TNT champion, just as 2 times and current. So I thought it would have been a 3-time, but no, he is still a 2-time with everything going on here. So I'm glad that's the case. I didn't want him to just have just a random championship added to him because he technically won both the championships back. But to me, it was a great match, and I'm not taking anything away from those 2. I just think it would have been a more intriguing type of way to just boost Cody Rhodes and this heel / babyface persona, this twinger-like persona that he's got going on right now, if he had the championship. I think was Sammy the right person to win the championship? Yes and no. Yes, because it finally got him a win over Cody, and we all know he's been trying to get that win over Cody since pretty much the first ever episode of AEW Dynamite, all those 3 years ago. But no, because I really would have liked to see the work of Cody Rhodes as the TNT champion in this kind of a role that he's got going on right now. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think about all that. Did you want Cody Rhodes to win, technically retain, or was Sami Guevara the right one for you? So we have a new undisputed TNT champion. and Sami Guevara. Tony Schiavone was with Team Taz at the Edgewater Beach in, I believe in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Edgewater Beach. Everybody was so like weirded out that beach break was happening in Cleveland. Um, they're really, as to my knowledge, I don't think there's really that many beaches in Cleveland, Ohio. So that's why everybody was just like, why the heck is beach break happening in Cleveland, Ohio, of all places?
And it's freaking cold.
Yeah. So
It's the Midwest. Like, bro, it's the Midwest. It's cold, all right?
so like everybody was just kind of weirded out about that. But then like we saw Tony Schiavone and Team Taz out there legitimately in the snow. It was a beach built with snow on it. It felt so weird to me.
Bro, you
Seeing a
can
beach
see
with snow on it. I'm like, that's so weird.
oh man, you can see Tony
Instead of
shaking.
saying there was snow on the ground, and I was like, dude, he was so fucking cold.
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
was
bro,
shaking.
what the
I'm like, man, get this man a blanket. Like, come on, man.
He was like, what the hell are you guys doing here? It's fucking freezing. And then Powerhouse Hobbs is like, man up, grow the fuck up. It's time for us to talk.
This dude, Powerhouse Hobbs, had a whole fur jacket on.
Right? it's like Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. They knew everything was gonna go down. They knew exactly what they were happening, and they just didn't tell Tony Schiavone shit. They were just saying, "Hey, Tony, just come on over here. Just wear like your normal everyday kind of clothing, and you're good to go." These guys are all fucking bundled up. They are ready for a fucking blizzard if it came through Cleveland. Like it was, they were just set and ready to go. But yeah, Tony Schiavone was shaking and shivering all over the place. But that being said, he was there to interview Team Taz at the Edgewater Beach. Hobbs says every dog has its day. The win that he got was bad luck. Who was he? Dante?
Yeah,
Dante. So he meaning Dante Martin. Starkson says that he hopes Lethal enjoyed his day off because next week on Rampage, it will be Ricky Starks versus Jay Lethal for the FTW Championship. Not this week's. Or was it this week? Because it was championship week, so I felt like it was going to be this week's Rampage, right? I don't know. It was championship Friday, so I thought the FTW title would have been on the line at that moment. You know, I just gotta look, see what happened. I'm not gonna read anything. Okay, so Moxley and Anthony, tag titles, TBS title, and the Brock Anderson FTR match. Okay, so yeah, next Friday, it'll be the FTW title on the line. Okay, cool. Just have to make sure. But yeah, so next week, FTW title, Jay Lethal, Ricky Starks. Give that to me. That match is gonna be great. I love Jay Lethal. I love Ricky Starks. Honestly, I don't even care who wins that match. I just want that to happen.
Yeah, same. Like this is only gonna be Jay Lethal's second match on like AEW TV besides Dark. Yeah. But yeah, man. I'm about to say I can't wait to see Jay Lethal wrestle again. So
100% agree. So They have all the results for Dynamite on the AEW website. I was just looking at their roster right now. I wanted to look at Jay Lethal real quick. Where is the boy? He's right there. He is 4-1 in AEW, and everybody said that he was buried because he just hasn't been used on Dynamite yet. He'll be fine. He's 4-1. He's 3-0 in 2022. He's good. There's a difference between buried. Like, you guys gotta realize this. I know you guys understand, but there are so many people that just don't understand the actual term, the term buried and what it means in the world of professional wrestling. So we have that taking place next week on Rampage. So, Wardlow makes his entrance, accompanied by Shawn Spears, and Elijah Dean and James Alexander are already in the ring. We knew exactly what was going to happen. It's a handicap match. Wardlow taking on Elijah Dean and James Alexander. Wardlow overpowers both men, as he should. Powerbombs Dean, powerbombs Alexander. Another powerbomb to each opponent. Then more powerbombs, one more onto each other. It's just it's the powerbomb buffet.
Man.
It's the powerbomb buffet. And Wardlow covers with both of them stacked on top of each other. 1, 2, 3. Wardlow wins the match. Easy stuff.
Mm.
Everybody eats those power bombs, and oh shit! Sorry. Hope that didn't sound too bad. But yeah, they just eat those power bombs, and it's absolutely amazing to see. I fucking love Wardlow. Wardlow's so good, and he's one of the most intriguing characters in this thing company. Really.
I thought that he was gonna turn heel tonight, but that didn't happen.
Dude, it was so good. I want him to turn on MJF so bad.
I was sitting
in
there
that moment.
Come on! I was like, come on. We not even to that segment yet, but I was like,
no, we're not even in there yet. But yeah, it was so close. We're gonna get there, man. We're gonna get there. But yeah, Wardlow powerbomb buffet. He's absolutely amazing, dude. And there's no reason, there's no wonder why WWE is trying to get invested into this guy, because he's absolutely he's a powerhouse. And we all know Vince loves those. Will it happen? No, I think Wardlow knows where he's loved, and I think he'll be fine in AEW. But man, you can see why WWE likes him.
Yeah.
The powerbomb buffet. Absolutely insane. So yeah, Wardlow gets the win. Spears celebrates, and he wants to go into the ring with his steel chair. He was pretty much like begging Wardlow to go in there like he was his dad or whatever. He's like, oh, come on. There are two in there. I can have so much fun. He's like, no. It's like, okay. Here's your winner. It's like, oh, okay. It's fine. He wanted to go in there so bad, man. He was like a kid begging his dad to go back on the trampoline. Like, man. He was so ready for it too, and he's like, okay.
All right.
So Shawn Spears celebrates with Wardlow, and then we had a commercial break. But once we came back, Judas hits, and the Inner Circle make their entrance.
Yes, sir.
Daniel Garcia and 2.0 are already in the ring. Trios match between the Inner Circle, 2.0, and Daniel Garcia. This was honestly a really good match. It's not that I didn't think it was going to be bad. I thought this was going to be good regardless. But I honestly thought this got a lot more time than I feel like anybody would have really ever thought. But at the end of the day, we had a damn good match. Jeff Parker and Matt Lee, they're phenomenal athletes. Daniel Garcia continues to impress me every single week. And obviously, we know what Pride and Powerful is all about, and we obviously know Chris Jericho. This is a good match. No complaints here.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, this match was really good. Santana and Ortiz doing their thing. Chris Jericho still can go at his age. I'm I'm getting like more invested into the storyline because I really want to see what happens when the inner circle implodes. So I'm
Yes.
like
Yes.
really invested into this storyline now, and I want to see what happens. So.
I want to get Jake Hager involved here somehow, some way.
Yeah, I about to say
I want to get Sammy in here too, because Sammy's still a part of the. He's still a part of the inner circle, right?
yeah.
Not like so. Get Sammy or Jake in here somewhere. Like, it doesn't have to actually be in the storyline, because obviously Sammy's a champion, so he has to do his own thing. But Jake Hager's like the heavy of the group. Like, do something with him about this. Like, have him either choose a side or something of that nature. Try to get these two parties like to coexist. Well, I fucking hate that word coexist, but you get what I mean. Like, like something has to be done here. It just can't be. It just can't be Pride and Powerful and Jericho. I feel something has to happen, and at some point, those two might have to get involved because these guys they just don't know if they. Sorry guys, I know you guys hate it. I know we're just desensitized to this word at this point, but they have to see if they can coexist because at that point we're probably going to have something at Revolution for these guys, whether that be a tag team championship opportunity or a trios match at some point. So we'll see what happens. I'm very intrigued with this though because an implosion like this from within is something very different than what we usually get. So I'm happy that this is happening. I kind of had a feeling that the inner circle was probably going to be done at some point. The inner circle can't last forever. But yeah, it's happening. And the inner circle is imploding. We'll see what happens. I really had a feeling that this was going to happen because, like I said, Sammy is doing his own thing. Like, he's not even really associated with the inner circle anymore.
Yeah.
And Jake Hager, he has not been seen in months. Do you think Jake Hager could be one of the guys that gets let go? Once it's all said and done?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, isn't Jake Hager still fighting in MMA also?
In Bellator, yeah, I believe so. I think he's still I think he still does do fights here and there for Bellator.
Okay.
I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe so.
Okay. As far as getting let go, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know if I would want him to be let go though. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
I don't know if I would want him to be let go either.
Because I mean, he's a good professional wrestler, but
yeah,
he just doesn't get used.
Yeah, I'm not.
Let me see something real quick. I do kind of want to look at his MMA stuff.
I only seen like maybe one of his MMA matches, and that's it.
I mean, he hasn't really done much in Bellator MMA, but the last match that he won, or last match that he had rather, was at Bellator 250, facing Brandon Colton on October 29th, 2020. And he won that via split decision. So he's currently 3-0, but with a 1 no contest. And yeah, it doesn't say anything about his contract status when it comes to Bellator, but if his last match was in 2020 in October, nonetheless, I feel like he definitely would still be under contract in a way. So maybe he is.
Right.
So let's see. The only thing, the latest thing that he has here in AEW, that is here on Wikipedia is the rivalry result. There was something between Hager and Moxley on an episode of AEW Dark on March 31st, 2020. The rivalry resulted in an empty arena no holds barred match for the AEW World Title. Jesus, I didn't know Jake Hager was in a World Title match on April 15th, 2020 episode. What? April 15th, 2020? That was a Dynamite episode? He was in a World Title match on Dynamite. Okay.
Yeah, I think I remember watching that match too. It was around the time
That's insane to me.
They moved to Daly's place and there was no fans.
Oh, okay.
Like that, so
it was an empty arena match for the championship on that episode of Dynamite, which Hager then lost to Moxley, obviously, because it's the Jon Moxley championship reign, marking his first AEW loss, and that's the last thing that it has here. That's obviously not the last time we've seen him. We've obviously seen him since that time, but man, I'm telling you right now, it really has not been that often. So would he be one of the first ones to be let go? Probably not. Should he be let go? I don't think so. I think he does have some value in this company. They just need to use him.
Right.
In the spots that he can be used in. Is that for a world championship? I don't know at this point in his career. TNT championship? I don't know either. Like, I really don't know where this guy fits in. And that's probably what they're trying to figure out. If they're even trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But AEW has it's a definite, like, what I'm trying to say here. It's a definitely less grueling type of traveling schedule than it is with WWE. Most of the time, they do all their tapings on that Wednesday night when it comes to Dark Elevation, Rampage, and Wednesday for Dynamite. And then every other time, they're home. They're not on the road. We don't have AEW live events. Were they talking about it? Yeah, they were talking about AEW live events, but
I was about to say sometimes not all the Dark episodes are taped at the that AEW event too. They do have like a Universal Studios AEW thing.
Right, yeah, they have that stuff on Universal Studios too.
Yeah.
Before they were definitely doing Dark and Dark Elevation on those Dynamites, because when I was at Grand Slam, they were doing Dark and Dark Elevation before the actual show went on the air. Before Grand Slam went on the air, rather. And then we obviously had Grand Slam, and then Grand Slam Rampage was happening right after that. You guys didn't see it. We saw that on Friday on our television screens. So technically, I got to watch that twice. on TV and IRL. But yeah, now they're doing it in Universal Studios. Which is, if you actually look at the structure of that place, that kind of gives me like a very, very old school FCW type vibe.
Yeah.
If you've seen FCW before the whole NXT stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
It like legitimately gives me that FCW vibes, and like I was like, hey, look at that, not bad. Crowd's very intimate, crowd's very small, but hey, like when it comes to AEW Dark, it's kind of like AEW Dark and Dark Elevation is kind of like their NXT. They let these guys get on there. They obviously have their established superstars actually get some wins here and there, and then once they figure that they are ready for like a match on Dynamite or whatever, get them on there. It obviously could just be used like Sky Blue was there for so long, and then all of a sudden she was on Dynamite. It was just to lose to Serena D, but she was there, and Tony saw her, and Tony saw that she was ready. So why not? I'm getting a little bit off track here, but it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where Jake Hager is going to be from here on out, but we'll see what happens in the future of his contract here in AEW. A video package for Lance Archer versus Hangman Adam Paige. Paige then takes place after that match, and it will be a Texas death match between the two. And it looks like it's going to be happening in 2 weeks. So not in Chicago, but on February 10th, it'll be for the AEW World Championship Texas death match, Adam Page and Lance Archer. We come back from commercial break, and Tony Schiavone is with Christian Cage, Jurassic Express, and the AHFO. Hardy says it's time for Private Party to become tag team champions. Jungle Boy says Private Party are wearing fake watches. Great stuff. Great stuff there, guys. It should be a great match between those two on Friday. I love Private Party. I just think they're just being wasted in the Hardy family office. And obviously Jurassic Express are fantastic. So we'll see what happens on Friday.
Yeah.
CM Punk makes his entrance. That beautiful, beautiful song, Close of Personality, hits. Everybody's singing it. Punk is wearing his ring gear. And huge CM Punk chants are here. Punk gets on the mic, says that it's been a minute since he has been here in Cleveland, but he is dressed to fight. You know who he wants to fight. And he says, come on, guys, chant this man's name. It's going to be the one and only time this will ever happen, so let's make it special. Everybody was chanting MJF. He unzips his hoodie, and he reveals an MJF scarf, which the symbolism there is just so good. So he thought maybe he could challenge him to a match for it, until he realized that the scarf is a cheap from Amazon. He is sick of talking, and he just wants MJF inside the ring. Let's do this tonight. Punk says he knows MJF will come out in a cheap suit that does not fit him and make every excuse in the world. He has gone through FTR, Wardlow, Shawn Spears. He just wants MJF right here, right now in Cleveland. MJF makes his entrance, and then he walks out in a suit. You suck chants are roaring through the arena. and MJF says that they are dumb. Just it's MJF stuff, you know. It always happens, and I can't wait to see what he says about Connecticut when he comes here to Connecticut in just a few weeks' time. He asked if they want to see him wrestle tonight. Everybody was chanting yes, and he's like, no. He wouldn't waste this historic match in Cleveland. This place is disgusting. Asshole chants were happening at this point in time. MJF says he will give them the match next week in Chicago. CM Punk versus MJF. It's a dream match. They think they want it. Shut the fuck up chants happen. And the outcome will be upsetting. Not only will MJF win, he will beat him in the Midwest. In the Midwest. After he wins, you will all see the real CM Punk. The Punk who loses his fake smile, who blames his losses on everybody else, not him. CM Punk. CM, if he doesn't get what he if he doesn't get his just due, he will sue Punk. Punk will say he is leaving wrestling once again. MJF says Punk no shows in Chicago when he left in 2014. Says Punk doesn't give a damn about us, and Punk will turn his back on all of us once again, then cry about it on a podcast. That Colt Cabana podcast. We all know that special podcast that he went on. So Punk says MJF listened to that podcast because he is a fan. Punk says that the best thing he ever did was leave and then come back. Punk knows MJF can't beat him. Punk says that he never lied to the people. Some love him, some hate him, but at the end of the day, he would rather try and fail than to never show up like MJF. Punk says that they don't love him because he wins. They love him because he gets back up, he tries and fights just like Cleveland always does. MJF asks if Punk always gets back up. You get back up? Do you get back up? Let's test that. FTR and Wardlow then come down. Shawn Spears then attacks Punk from behind, and FTR beat him down along with Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears hits Punk with a steel chair, and the crowd chant for Wardlow. They were actually chanting for Wardlow here to try to break this up, but he was just standing there, very stoic. FTR then hold Punk down by his arms and legs, and Spears then continues to attack him with a steel chair. Punk then grabs MJF by the scarf, but FTR then beat him down once again, and MJF tells Wardlow to powerbomb him. Wardlow then powerbombs Punk onto the steel chair. MJF then sits cross-legged on Punk's chest, and MJF says that Punk's journey will end the same place where it all began. Next week in Chicago, it'll be CM Punk versus MJF. Can't wait for this match, man. This feud has been absolutely fantastic. The promos have been absolutely amazing. This could be one of the biggest ratings Dynamite has ever produced in the 3 years that it's been a company.
Yeah, I can't wait for this match next week either. I thought MJF was gonna troll us again and be like, you know what? CM Punk versus Dax Harwood. Like what? I thought it was gonna happen again, but he actually
He's been through FTR, Wardlow, Sean Spears. He even said himself, I went through everybody.
I thought he was gonna say
I need
Brandon
MJF.
Cutler or something. Like Brandon
Brandon
Cutler.
fucking
What?
Cutler. Shut up, Brandon. I wanted to shut up Brandon tonight. We didn't get a shut up Brandon.
Nah,
We saw Brandon Cutler, but
yeah, instead Brandon got dragged out. But,
yeah,
but
I wanted to shut up Brandon, but man, it's all right.
Shut up, Brandon. Man, people are so disrespectful to my guy Brandon, man.
Brandon Cutler, you know, man, where did he go wrong? But yeah, everybody from the Pinnacle got through CM Punk. CM Punk wants MJF. He gets him next week in his hometown. It's gonna be great. You can say your piece about this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I can't wait for this match. The build up and the promos has been absolutely crazy. Like I said, tonight I thought we were gonna see Wardlow turn heel. I mean, not turn heel, turn face.
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't happen.
He was just standing there in the corner, man.
Yeah, he just sat there in the corner, and I'm like, come on, man. You know you want to do it.
And then he had that look on his face where he did not really want to actually powerbomb Punk, but if he didn't, we all knew everything was going to happen. So
yeah. But,
imagine Punk losing to MJF. He will. I firmly believe he should, especially if it's in his hometown of Chicago.
Yeah, I was about to say
he should lose.
I was about to say the booze is going to be crazy.
Exactly the reason why it should happen. Yes.
And then also that gives MJF momentum too, because we all want MJF to be world champion one day. And I think that him beating Punk would give him so much momentum going into whatever next storyline or whatever like championship match next or whatever. But man, it's gonna be crazy.
It's either gonna be Adam Page versus MJF at Revolution, or it's either gonna be Adam Page versus Adam Cole. It's either gonna be one of those two.
Yeah, I could definitely see both of those two. I might have to take the 1.5-hour drive to Chicago next week, man.
You might honestly have to, because it's gonna be insane.
I might have to do it.
Like, I honestly think about it, dude. Because if I was only an hour and a half away from seeing CM Punk versus MJF in one of the matches that is most likely gonna bring one of the best ratings for AEW Dynamite in its 3-year history, I'd totally do it. I went to Grand Slam just to see Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. And that was way less. I mean, that was way more, rather, than an hour and a half drive. I went from Connecticut to fucking New York. That's a drive. But I had to go see that match. There are some matches in our lives that we just have to go see. And if it's only an hour and a half away, I'd honestly consider it.
I was about to say, I already know how it's going to be, too, because I've been to a wrestling event in Chicago, and Chicago is like one of the best wrestling
most rowdy crowds.
Yeah, one of the most best wrestling fan bases I ever been a part of, and man, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And AEW events are always great. The people that attend those shows are always super nice. The venue is super, I don't know what it is about AEW shows, but every single time they actually go to a venue, this may just be me just randomly thinking of things, but man, the venues are honestly really clean. I don't see really any kind of like trash on the floor or anything like that. Like it's legitimately a nice clean venue. People legitimately actually clean up after themselves once the show was over. They don't just like leave everything there. Or at least the one that I went to. And I was in New York of all places. But yeah, like everybody was super nice. They throw an amazing event, and at the end of the day, you honestly witness history in almost every single event that you're there. People saw Danhausen tonight, like, and yes, I did kind of spoil who was in the main event with everything, but I don't care. People saw Danhausen tonight, and that is absolutely insane. People witness history of Danhausen showing up in AEW. Like that's so good. This company just has reinvigorated my love for professional wrestling. It's insane. The Acclaimed are backstage, and man, you know, Nate. The Acclaimed,
Guys, my guys.
they're the guys, man. They're the guys. They say that Bones will beat Moxley on Rampage. I'm sorry, Nate. I'm sorry. I just don't think it's gonna happen, man. It's John Moxley.
Yeah, I already know that's not gonna happen, but like it's the Acclaim, bro. So
The Acclaim, so you gotta watch regardless.
yeah, it's the Acclaim.
Plus, you gotta hear what Anthony and Max have to say about Cleveland. You know,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you know that rap's gonna be great. Probably gonna bring the Browns involved. Probably gonna talk about Baker, not my Baker, but the other Baker.
Bro, she was cutting up so
She actually
much.
mentioned God dang Baker tonight.
Oh, she went in so hard
She
on the
went
Cleveland
in
Browns. I'm like, oh my
on the
god.
Cleveland Browns.
I'm like, I know
She
Phil
went
is
in on the
going crazy
Cleveland
right now.
Browns. She went in on the goddamn Baker. She went in on the goddamn Baker Mayfield. Like, man, like it was so fucking good. I love this girl so much. You don't understand. Plus, whenever somebody is just ratting on my AFC North rival, it's a good fucking day. Even though I shouldn't even be talking because I didn't make the playoffs either. But I digress. Tony Schiavone is with Griff Garrison and Julia Hart. Mark Sterling then interrupts and says, listen, Cargill has chosen Julia Hart as her next challenger. Hart then signs a contract. And she'll get a TBS championship match on Friday, but it did happen about an hour and a half ago. We're sorry, guys, but and this isn't even really a spoiler. The way Jade Cargill is being pushed right now to the moon against somebody like a Julia Hart, who's winning that? I mean, come on. Come on. It's not even really a spoiler. Like, we should all just know that at that point. So yeah. Red Velvet takes on Leyla Hirsch next. And man, I was texting the group chat, Nate. I don't know if you saw it, but man, Lewis and I were legitimately going all in when it came to Leyla Hirsch. We do not like that woman whatsoever. Leyla Hirsch is not good in the ring. She cannot do promos. When it was time for Red Velvet to stir it up, I wanted her to stir it up because, man, Red Velvet was the only right winner here, and she lost. Leyla Hirsch won. And Red Velvet is actually the number one ranked woman in all of AEW right now.
Yeah, I saw that too. I didn't know that until they announced it on the show.
Until they announced it, and I went on AEW's website just to actually look at it. These two were the top two women of this company right now in terms of the rankings.
Yeah, I forgot that they like due to like every year they reset the rankings. And
yeah.
I forgot that they actually do that. So
yeah. They were the number one and number two in the rankings tonight. Well, of this week. And legit Leyla Hirsch actually got the win here. She did a pump kick in the corner. Velvet then gets rolled up for a 2 count. Hirsch then counters a kick, goes for a roll up, grabs the tights, and gets the 1, 2, 3. She should not have won this match.
Yeah.
That's just me.
The most devastating move in all of sports entertainment.
It is the roll up. We're all kind of desensitized it, but man, if you're ranked number 1 in the company for your division or what have you, feel like you really should not lose. Honestly. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm telling you guys right now, if we're getting a match between, let's say, like the number 1 ranked woman and Britt Baker or the TBS champion Jade Cargill, you're obviously doing this before Revolution, because I still firmly believe we're getting Thunder Rosa at Revolution. I still firmly believe that. She's number 4 right now in the rankings, but she can get up there. We just need to figure out what's going to happen, man. Revolution is still in March. It's the first, I believe, Saturday in March. And man, we have a lot more weeks to go through, and I just it's not that I want the pay-per-view to happen already, but man, it's kind of hard when you're having these 4 pay-per-views a year. Like, I would never want AEW to go to 12 pay-per-views a year like WWE does, but these 4 pay-per-views a year spaced out in the way they do, sometimes it works out great, and sometimes people just want to see it. I don't know. That might just be me, though. We had a House of Black package. Quote, just like death, we are inevitable. Malachi Black is great.
And Malachi Black is freaking amazing.
And we heard Brody King speak tonight, too.
Yeah. I was kind of shocked. I'm like, okay, we'll finally get a Brody King promo a little bit. It was short, but,
Sami Guevara made his entrance with Fuego del Sol, and he was holding the cue cards for a picture-in-picture break.
I was like, why is Sammy coming back out again? I'm like, he won already. Like,
he won the title.
Back. I'm like, going back, hit the showers, go get dressed, go relax, take an ice bath or something.
You legitimately just had an amazing ladder match, and you're out here again with cue cards.
Like, just thanking the fans, like, hey, it's because of you I did this, and I'm going to be a fighting champion, and that's basically what he said. So
we're probably getting another TNT championship match next week. Probably an open challenge. And watch, this time Johnny Gargano's coming out in Chicago or whatever. They're like, oh, yeah, you couldn't do it in Cleveland. I have to do it in Chicago. Well, I mean, regardless, whatever crowd he would ever come out of, the crowd would go absolutely insane because it's Johnny Wrestling. But, I mean, whether it's Chicago or whether it's goddamn Cleveland, Ohio, the man would absolutely get cheered regardless. Don't quote me on that, people. I know you. People would say, "Oh yeah, Johnny Gargano is coming next week to Chicago."
Phil said
this one has to be true. Yep. It's not.
Phil just confirmed it.
Phil just confirmed it. Phil Meltzer on the line here. Shout out to you, Dave. You get a lot of crap here, but you get a lot of crap in the IWC, but you're warned. You're a good guy. I hope you are. But yeah, don't worry, Johnny Wrestling. I think he will be here. Don't, and you can't quote me on that. I think he will be here in AEW. It's just a matter of his time.
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Plus, he's got a wife to worry about. He's got a pregnant wife to worry about. So I think we're okay for right now, guys. We had Danhausen tonight. I think we're okay. People were legitimately asking, like, just the entire Twitter thread when it comes to the hashtag AEW Dynamite is like, is Danhausen from Cleveland? Because that was just absolutely insane. I did look it up. He is.
Oh, he is from Cleveland.
So yeah,
that works. All right, yeah.
So somebody debuted in their hometown, which worked out in the end.
Right, Danhausen.
So yeah, Danhausen. It was such a
I didn't know
insane.
I didn't know Wardlow was from Cleveland either.
Yeah, I didn't. The more you know, like Panda says. So yeah, he'll be billed from someplace far away. It's gonna be so cool to hear Justin Roberts say that. That's awesome. From someplace far away. Danhausen. So good. I can't fucking wait for Danhausen, dude. I want his next match next week. Do it. Please. And all of a sudden, like, it's a mystery opponent for Danhausen, and it's Johnny Gargano. And then you have two matches, two debuts in the same match. But then again, you'd be booking yourself into a corner because who would win that?
Gargano.
Yeah, no, don't do it against Johnny Gargano. Do it against somebody, and then have Johnny Gargano debut on the same night, which is how him debut. There you go, Tommy. I got you ideas. People call me PK for a reason. People think I'm a part of your payroll for a reason. Got you.
Tony's actually going to watch this and be like, you know what?
And then Johnny, let's get over here.
Yep, and then next week, it's happening.
It's happening. Tony, I got you. Hit me up. I got your ideas. Tony Schiavone is in the ring to introduce the doctor, Britt Baker, D.M.D.
D.M.D.
to the ring, and he has Baker's awards for the plaques all across the table. Absolutely great. Baker says it has been a while since she's been here in Cleveland to chat. It's actually been a while for her to actually just have a mic, and that is absolutely criminal, which it is. It felt like every time CM Punk and MJF had a mic, they couldn't keep her word. They couldn't keep her name out of their mouths. 2021 was the year of the D.M.D., and she did all of her awards with a broken freaking wrist. Shout out to Kurt Angle. This division was a wasteland. She made it a utopia. She didn't take anybody's spot. She created her own spot. She took over the women's division. She became the face of AEW. I'll say the face of the AEW women's division. I don't know about the face of the entire AEW, and that's what I will say about Britt Baker. People think I'm biased towards her, and yes, I love her very, very much. But face of the women's division, yes. Face of the entire company, probably not. That might still go to Bryan Danielson or CM Punk. So she says that she is the face of AEW. She was the first female signed by AEW. She started here as she stands before us as the female wrestler of the year. She isn't going to settle for that. She won't settle until she is female of the decade. And she isn't going anywhere, baby. Shouts out to
Yeah,
Adam Cole, baby.
yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, aha, she threw the little Adam
Ah,
Cole in there. I like that. Okay.
baby. You finally have the baker you can count on. And that line was so perfect. Finally have a baker that you can count on.
On top of that, she came out with all the Pittsburgh Steelers stuff too.
Yeah, she came in with like the Pittsburgh towel and everything. I was like,
oh.
let's go. I'm like, Pittsburgh's not my favorite team out there in the world, but for you, I'll deal with it. So yeah, so they finally have the baker that they have always wanted and that they can count on. And that was the end of her promo. It was absolutely fantastic. Couldn't say anything less. So we had a recap of FTR versus Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson. That match will happen, I believe, soon. Friday. So yeah, so that'll happen, and we'll get that on it. Like, I feel like FTR would have to win that maybe, but you're trying to get Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's going to be FTR, but we'll see. Vicky Guerrero then shouts, and this is where I kind of wanted to turn off AEW, but I'm like, no, it's AEW, so I had to keep it on.
All I heard, excuse me. I'm like,
I was like,
is that Ricky Guerrero? I'm like, I haven't heard that in years. Like,
oh, Jesus.
Oh man, I said Vicky Guerrero.
Vicky Guerrero. She's so annoying. I thought when she left WWE, we would have not heard that anymore. And then all of a sudden she's here in AEW doing the exact same shtick. But hey, whatever gets you to dance, I guess, right?
Right.
So she shouts, excuse me. And Nyla Rose says she was legitimately yelling at JR, Shivani, and Excalibur. Like, she was legitimately looking at them and just yelling at them. Like they have anything to do with this. Nyla Rose shouts that she wants Ruby Soho, and she says that Ruby Soho is the reason why she is not the TNT champion. She will prove it next week when she faces Ruby Soho one-on-one. And JR is like, well, fine. Go to do it then. Do it. So, like, well, we're obviously going to have to be here, so yeah, go for it. And JR was just not having it to me. He's like, go for it. Why not? Like, yelling at me going up against Ruby Soho. Do it then. JR gives no fucks at times, and I love that about him. He called MJF a couple of weeks ago one of the most hated professional wrestlers in all of the industry. And he also even called MJF the pimple on the ass of life. Who says that on commentary? That's awesome. Did you see my video on that?
No.
I have a video on TikTok where it's just commentary, just hating all over MJF. It's like 5 clips. You have to go see it. I'll probably send it to you.
All right, cool.
But yeah, it's legitimately like just 5 clips of the commentary just hating on MJF. It's absolutely amazing. And Nico Extra not only commented on the video, but he also tweeted about it on his Twitter account. I felt so accomplished at that moment. Shout out to you, Nico, because that was honestly really cool, and you did not have to do that. That was awesome. But yeah, it was just a commentary, just legitimately shitting on MJF, and I absolutely love it. Like, Excalibur goes all in. The whole pimple on the ass of life comment is in there by JR. Um, uh, Not Excalibur. Tony Schiavone just saying that he sucks every single time. It's great. I'll send it to you. But yeah, so Vicky Guerrero is just standing there while Nyla Rose is just yelling at the commentary table saying that she's going to face Ruby Soho next week. And then we come back and Justin Roberts is introducing the Lights Out match. And it is the Lights Out match between Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy. The one thing, and this isn't even really our fault, I feel so bad for one person in all of this, Nate. And it's not even anybody from AEW. I feel bad for Love. Wanna know why? Because we hyped this shit up so much. We told him to look at other Lights Out matches just so that he can get a glimpse as to what the heck is gonna happen tonight. And then all of a sudden we got this match. It was not a bad match by any means, but to me, and I feel like you can kind of attest to this, and I want you guys in the live chat to talk about this as well. It kind of just felt like your normal Extreme Rules match, like you would kind of get in a WWE.
Yeah, it just felt like a regular, like, no disqualification match or like a regular false count anywhere match. Because like right before, like a couple hours before AEW, yeah, we hyped off of like, oh man, it's about to be fantastic. Go watch John Moxley versus Kenny Omega. It was crazy. You're gonna see
Britt
Joey
Baker and
Janela
Thunder
versus
Rosa,
Moxley. Yeah, like Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be exactly like that. It was nothing like that, and I was disappointed. Because I went back myself and I rewatched, like I said, like 3 or 4 of them, and man, I was looking at them like, yo, these are fantastic. And then all of a sudden, we watched this one and it didn't live up to the hype that all the other ones did, and I'm like, man.
Was it the weakest one that you've seen out of the 6 so far?
Yeah.
I'd go that far too, honestly.
Because because we already know it's Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole. They got fantastic chemistry with each other.
Right.
And I just thought that it was going to be more than what we saw tonight. And we
let's
already
not misconstrue this. This was a great match.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
a great
want
match.
anybody to just misconstrue our wording here. It was a great match. These guys had, like Nate said, amazing in-ring chemistry. It just wasn't as extreme as any of the other matches were.
Yeah, because like when we talking about more extreme, like in the older matches had certain elements to the match to make it more extreme.
Right.
The Kenny Omega and John Moxley one had a lot of barbed wire in it.
It was like a bed of barbed wire and everything, and it was like a big superplex spot onto that bedding.
Broken glass, like thumbtacks, stuff like that.
This match didn't have Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa had Britt Baker had that bloody face where we all know where, like, you see that iconic picture of Britt Baker all the time. It's even in her Titantron video. So, like, stuff like that, guys. Like, it was a great match, and I don't take anything away from them. They are 2 amazing athletes. Adam Cole, he's one of my favorite superstars in this current generation and era of professional wrestling. Orange Cassidy, he's absolutely amazing too. But yeah, it just wasn't as extreme like it could have been, really. Maybe that was by design. Maybe this isn't really technically over yet, but usually when a lights out match happens, that signifies the end of the feud, and then we kind of just move on.
Yeah, it was still some amazing spots up in there. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure
we'll go over some of the stuff too.
Yeah, but like me and Phil said, we feel like it was the weakest out of all of them. just because, like I said, it were certain aspects of the match that was missing. Like there was no tables, like besides the announcer table. I mean the the announcer, not the announcer table, the ringside
The
table.
ringside table
Yeah,
where
the
they keep
ringside
like the bell
table
and
and
all
the
that stuff.
and the gorilla table in the back. But like I said, they were missing thumbtacks and missing barbed wire. The only thing basically we really seen was steel steps, trash cans, and steel chairs, and that's pretty much it.
And
So
obviously the dive
yeah, and then
off the
the big
face
finish. So
off the baby face tunnel.
yeah,
So yeah, so once we I want to actually take a look here because they do actually have beach break. Oh wait, it just directs me right back to the beach break Wikipedia page. I click on beach break 2022 and it just brings me back right to the homepage of it. So I thought we could have seen the length of the matches for tonight, but yeah, that's okay. But
yeah,
they'll
I
obviously
believe.
come out with the timing of everything soon enough.
Yeah, I believe this match was about 20 minutes. I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like it definitely started when like around like maybe not like the whole segment and everything when Justin was about to talk. I felt like it was around like 9:35, like 9:40 around there.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, it's okay. They'll definitely come out with the timings of everything anyway, but yeah, so at the end of the day, though, guys, Orange Cassidy did pick up the win here in a good match, in a pretty good match to say the least. Cassidy gets a chain and wraps it around his injured hand. At this point, his hand was actually bloodied and like busted open here. I don't
Yeah.
know the spot where he actually busted it open though. What happened?
It was when Adam Cole put his hand inside the like between the steel steps and the pole
Okay.
and stumped
Okay.
his hand in. That's where his hand started bleeding.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he wraps it around his injured hand, and Cole escapes the ring and tries to leave. Cassidy then chases. They brawl to the back, and oh wait, did I miss the Danhausen part? No, I don't think so. I want to do the Danhausen shit because that's awesome. Brandon Cutler, Wheeler Yuta interrupts, blah blah blah. Chen Romero and the Young Bucks come out.
Oh yeah, you definitely missed the Danhausen part because that was like in the first part of the match.
Okay, I'm just gonna read the entire match out to you guys. Then there you go. So Cassidy actually breaks his sunglasses and runs at Cole. The symbolism of that in itself is absolutely amazing because Cassidy just doesn't do that. Cassidy does not break his sunglasses. So he breaks them and then he runs at Cole. Strikes back and forth and Cole gets a knee and throws Cassidy out of the ring. Cassidy throws Cole into the barricade and hits a shotgun dropkick. Cole then throws Cassidy into the barricade once again. And Cole has a backdrop onto the barricade. Cole then pulls the chair from under the ring, and there it is, Danhausen. So he pulls the chair from under the ring, and attached to it was a man from Ring of Honor named Danhausen. Crowd was absolutely silent at first, and then all of a sudden, once they figured out who the fuck it was, they marked out like crazy. Danhausen then just stares at Cole in the Danhausen way, and Cole was just completely shocked. Then he just leaves. He didn't touch Cole. He didn't attack Cole in any way. He just does his little shtick or whatever, and then he just leaves. Just walks away. Just strolls on by. So he just leaves. Cassidy was also very confused by this, but once he kind of snapped himself out of it, he hits a tornado DDT on the outside. Cole then hits a super kick, then a pump kick. Cole then throws Cassidy into the ring post. Cassidy then blocks the Panama Sunrise and power slams Cole through the timekeeper table. Cole then hits Cassidy with a ring bell. I say a ring bell, like they have multiple. The ring bell. Then throws Cassidy into the steel steps. Cole then traps Cassidy's arm in the steps and kicks it, and Cole gets a weapon from under the ring. We go into a picture-in-picture break. So we saw what we saw there, and then we come back. Both men have a tug of war for a steel chain. Cole then hits a brainbuster over the knees, so the Yoshigoroshi, which I actually saw you call that spot on your live. Good boy.
Yeah.
I like that. Your commentary skills, putting yourself in the work.
Thank you.
Covers for a 2 count. Then Cole sets up 2 chairs. Cassidy then hits a stun dog millionaire and hits a Michinoku driver through the steel chairs. Covers for a 2 count. Then Cole hits a super kick. Cole then motions to the back. Brandon Cutler, the boy, the legend, comes down, and Wheeler Yuta then tries to intercept. Bobby Fish then comes out, then takes out Wheeler, and Chuck Taylor then throws Fish into the barricade. This was just absolute chaos at this point. Which is good though, because lights out matches should be chaotic. So at this point, I was honestly really fine about this match. So Fish goes into the barricade. The Young Bucks then hit double super kicks on Chuck Taylor. Trent and Romero then take out the Young Bucks. Cassidy then hits a beach break. Good stuff there. Covers for a 2 count. Cassidy then hits Orange Punch. The Orange Punch. People still are super mad that that Orange Cassidy is taking Roman Reigns' punch. But the thing is, Orange Cassidy was doing it way before Roman did. So don't even.
Yeah. I said on my live too. I said the Orange Punch is way better than the Superman Punch anyway. So
he actually hits it.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
But yeah, like Orange Cassidy was doing that way before Roman was even really doing it in 2014. So it's perfectly fine that he does it. But he doesn't really capitalize because of the injured hand. So Cole then hits a low blow, but Cassidy just is not fazed by it. And when he was not fazed by it, I'm like, oh, yep, cup. Pulls out a cup from the crotch area.
Because like when Adam Cole did it, like he started grabbing his arm, and I was like,
he hurt himself.
Yeah,
like,
and I was like,
so hard that he hurt himself.
I was like, don't tell me he has a cup. And then he pulled out the cup. I'm like, and then I was like, what is that attached to the cup? I'm like, is those thumbtacks? And they was like, no, it's metal on the inside. I'm like, oh, okay. So
he legitimately cocked his fist back so hard that he hurt himself. Insane. So he hurt himself when he was doing a low blow to Orange Cassidy. Then Cassidy reveals that he was wearing a cup. Cassidy then hits his weak kicks. The famous weak kicks.
That was amazing. He was lighting his shoulder up.
Oh, dude! He those kicks are the most devastating kicks in all of entertainment. Forget the yes kicks. Those kicks, those weak kicks, best kicks of all time.
Hilarious.
So he climbs to the second turnbuckle and hits a Panama Sunrise, covers for a 2 count. Cassidy then gets a chain and wraps it around his injured hand. Oh, wait. Nope. This is where everything was. I was reading this part at the time when we were starting to read the recap, but then I missed the Danhausen stuff, so I had to come back. So Cassidy then hits, then gets the chain, wraps it around his injured hand. Cassidy then Cole then escapes and tries to leave, but Cassidy then chases. A brawl to the back happens. Cole then drives Cassidy through the table that is in the gorilla position. There are also 2 TVs on the table, may I add, because Tony and Jerry Lynn were just watching Dynamite, having a good time producing the show, and then all of a sudden they just get their table crashed in on. And it's just like Tony was just there. He's like, "Oh, come on now, we're watching Dynamite." Damn. And then Jerry Lynn almost got fucking physical tonight. Well, Adam Cole almost made him get physical.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he drives Cassidy through the table cover for a 2 count. Adam Cole is fucking pissed at this point. They brawl back into the entrance ramp, and Cole hits a super kick, pulls down his knee pad, and Cassidy then hits a massive super kick. Wraps the chain around his hand once again, and Cole hits Cassidy with a floodlight. Then Cole climbs on to the babyface entrance tunnel, and Cassidy then chases Cole up to the entrance tunnel. Cassidy then hits a low blow. Then he hugs Adam Cole, hitting a low blow and then hugging him right after. That's always a good way to say, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna toss you off this thing." Then Cassidy drags Cole off the tunnel, and well, not drags. He legitimately jumps. I don't know why it says drag, but they jump off the tunnel, and both men fall through the stage. I have to say though, remember the stage fall from Chris Jericho in that Blood and Guts match?
Yeah.
This stage dive right here in this unsanctioned lights out match looked a ton better than that Blood and Guts match all those months ago.
Yeah.
It looked a lot better, and it was camera framed a lot better.
Yeah. I was like, you got to remember, Chris Jericho is old, though.
Yes, I understand that. But man, they could have shot that a ton better. Like, I don't mind the fall. The fall was honestly the best way that Jericho could have fallen. It's just the camera angles to me.
Yeah, the
presentation is so much more important to me than the actual fall itself. Yeah. The presentation for this fall was 10 times better.
Yeah, like
because it actually looked devastating.
Yeah, like the way that they had like the camera angle, I thought it was like some tables set up on the side of the
right
on the side of the tunnel, but they actually just fell through the stage. I'm like, oh,
it fell through the stage, and like you didn't actually see the either crash pads or like the cardboard stuff. You obviously could tell when Jericho did it.
Yeah.
When Jericho fell, you saw the crash pads. You saw the cardboard shit. You saw legitimately everything that he fell through when the camera angle showed it. This time, when they showed like the aerial view of everything, you saw it, but when you're doing an aerial view like that, of course you're going to see it. And the thing is, when they showed them actually falling, it was just them falling through a stage. We didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
And then obviously the cover happened. Cassidy landed on top of Cole, and the referee makes the cover 1, 2, 3. And Orange Cassidy then picks up the win. The best friends then help Cassidy up from the rubble, and they celebrate as Dynamite goes off the air. They were hugging him as the show faded to black, but I really wanted them to do it. You know the pan out. You know the pan out whenever they do the hug.
Yeah.
I wanted them to do the hug and then have it pan out as it was fading to black. Like, just panning out as it was fading. But nah, it didn't happen. They were just hugging him as it faded to black. But yeah, man, that was your Dynamite. That was your Dynamite Beach Break. A phenomenal show. One of the best shows they have produced so far in the 3 years that AEW has been a thing, especially in the year 2022. And next week, we're in Chicago. It's going to be great.
Yeah, the whole show as a whole was great as always. Yeah, man. Like, see, with shows like these, this is the type of stuff that I like about AEW. And like when I tell people that I like AEW more than WWE, I get some type of hate of it because, of course, as a wrestling fan, you're not supposed to like a whole bunch of different type of companies. You
You're
gotta
not
like,
supposed to like anything else but WWE
yeah,
because
exactly. You're just supposed to like WWE,
it's not the monopoly that WWE is.
right?
WWE is a multi-billion-dollar company, and yes, while AEW is on the up and up, and yes, they obviously have a great TV deal with TBS, people don't look at it like WWE. But then again, WWE doesn't think of them as competition, even though they clearly are after everything that happened tonight.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, this show is going to be over 1 million viewers again. And last week, they were over 1 million viewers. And what do you think is going to happen next week? Chicago, Illinois, NJF, CM Punk. That's going to be the best rating they have all year.
Man.
AEW is on the rise, and people need to wake the fuck up.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Bro, like that was one of the bit like I haven't watched. I only know Orange Cassidy from AEW,
Yeah,
and seeing that match from Orange Cassidy, that was one of the best matches that I've seen Orange Cassidy wrestle since I've been watching AEW. As far as Adam Cole, that's just another match
just
going.
another great match added
Yeah,
to his
just
resume.
another great match, man. Like when I saw him taking that spot from the top of the tunnel, I automatically thought like his spot with Tommaso Ciampa from War Games
Yep.
2019, and then also the spot with Johnny Gargano in that 2 out of 3 falls match.
All right. Yep.
So, man, like Adam Cole, Orange Cassidy, bro, 2 fantastic wrestlers, man, and my God, that was a good match. Like I said, I thought it was going to be more extreme than what we thought, but it was still a great match regardless. So, kudos to those guys.
Kudos to them indeed. Man, AEW Dynamite Breach Break 2022 was a complete success. Now, let's talk about last year's Beach Break. Beach Break 2021 happened on February 3rd, 2021. And this was the card that happened on that show. Chris Jericho won a tag team. It was a tag team battle royal for an AEW World Tag Team Championship match at Revolution. Had the Young Bucks won, who were the champions at that time, they would have been able to choose their opponents for Revolution. Chris Jericho won for the Inner Circle, last eliminating Darius Martin. Dr. Britt Baker D.M.D. defeated Thunder Rosa knockout in a singles match. That was not their unsanctioned match. That was just another match that they had. Adam Page and Matt Hardy defeated Chaos Project and Luther and Serpentico. Lance Archer defeated Eddie Kingston in a lumberjack match. And then in the main event, it was a 6-man tag match, a trios match between Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, taking on Jon Moxley and Death Triangle members Pac and Rey Fenix. I totally think that 2022 had a bigger card. But then again, that was 1 year to the next. I think AEW Beach Break 2022 had a better flowing card, in my opinion. But then again, like I said, it's progression from a year, so you got to think that. And honestly, at the end of the day, just Beach Break, when it comes to these types of like Dynamites, special episodes of Dynamites are always a huge success. So I think it was definitely a huge success for tonight, and it's going to be a huge success moving forward. I love the way that Tony Khan has these little bit of pay-per-view like feels when it comes to these special episodes of Dynamite on to the next pay-per-view, because like we established before, you only have 4 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah. Like another thing that I like about AEW too is that we're basically getting like with these special shows, we're basically getting pay-per-views for free on cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's fantastic because like if you could put good shows like this and not have like a official like pay-per-view where you got to pay like $60 for it, bro, that's amazing. Like, bro, we saw a good match, like 2 good matches tonight. A freaking ladder match for the TNT championship, and then we saw that lights out match at the end with Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole for free on cable. Well, not really for free, but you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So like if they can keep putting shows together like this without having pay-per-views, they're going to be straight.
Yeah. I mean, like every single time when they do these special pay-per-view like feel kind of AEW Dynamite cards, they always do great and they always perform amazingly well. And like everybody pretty much establishes, they only have 4 pay-per-views a year. They only have Full Gear, Revolution, Double or Nothing, and All Out. So you gotta have some stuff like this in between, so that you can obviously not only just build storylines, build feuds, but have main events like this and just keep people invested.
Yeah.
The 12 pay-per-views a year kind of thing is outdated, and people just honestly get tired. But having 4 pay-per-views a year keeps you invigorated, keeps you waiting on your toes. And the thing is, you're not scrambling every single, not every single weekend, but you're not scrambling every 4 weekends out of the month to try to figure out, all right, when am I going to watch this? Am I going to have to go to a friend's house to watch this because it's a big enough pay-per-view that you should be with your friends to enjoy it with? So, stuff like that. For AEW pay-per-views, you should be with your friends almost every single time a pay-per-view is on for AEW, because it's just going to be that much more amazing.
Yeah. Like the shows themselves is already amazing, but like if you go to the actual pay-per-view, it's like times 10s, like 10 times that. So, man,
this company, man, and I know people are going to be looking at this and we're just like kissing Tony Khan's ass, but it's not really. It's just because we are enjoying the product. And when you enjoy the product, you have this type of happiness within inside you that you just can't escape. So you just want to talk about it, and you're just happy. And you praise Tony Khan, and you praise the actual people that work behind the scenes in AEW. And yes, people call me a Tony Khan shill. Yes, people tell me that I'm a part of the payroll. But I don't care. If I like this company, I'm going to like this company. I'm going to tell you exactly like it is. So you guys can call me the Tony Shills all you want. You guys can tell me that I'm a part of the payroll. I'd love to be a part of the payroll, but if I was a part of the payroll, I would fucking tell you about it, and I would say, hey, go watch AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights on TBS, even though I just did. So you know what? I might be a part of the payroll. You don't know.
Oh man.
And TNT has Rampage at 10 o'clock, even though I do wish they changed that. They have it at 10 o'clock at night. Saturdays, 8 o'clock. That's where Rampage should be. Saturday night Rampage. Who wouldn't want that? I'm sorry, I'm rambling on, but you guys know what I'm getting at. AEW is on the rise, and everybody should get on board and like this company because they're doing something special here. Not every wrestling promotion can just be as hot as AEW is right now. And people think with them being as hot as they are, the next few years can honestly be like the floating shits. No, it's not. We're going to be just fine here in AEW. AEW is going to continue doing the best thing possible for their brand, for their company. And at the end of the day, people are going to gravitate towards it whether you like it or not. And if you have not gravitated towards it yet, you might want to think about it. I'm sorry. People are going to like legitimately do like a 5-minute clip of me just kissing Tony Khan's ass. I don't care. It's fine.
Yep, I was about to say I can feel the TikTok and stitches happening already.
It's fine.
Oh, Phil, you know what? You need to be quiet. You need to stop.
You need to be quiet. You need to start watching WWE because WWE has some stuff going on right now that you need to actually be a part of. Listen. If they pick the right winners for the Rumbles, then I'll get excited.
It's
WWE.
I was about to say another thing WWE should do. I was about to say they done it before, but I was about to say they should take notes of what happened tonight on AEW, and they should start doing some special shows so that way you don't have to wait like 4 or 5 weeks until the next pay-per-view. You can have like some pay-per-view caliber matches on the shows.
Do something
like bring back the Raw Super shows. Those used to be dope. Bring back like guest hosts where they could create their own match cards and stuff like that. That'll be fire.
There were reports months ago that Raw Roulette was coming back. When was that?
Bro,
like when is that gonna happen? People said Raw Roulette was coming back.
I've been wanting Raw Roulette to come back for a minute. Bring back Raw Roulette. Bring back like Taboo Tuesday, something to get the fans involved. Because I feel like that would be great too. Cyber Sunday.
Yeah, man. Like they need to do something. But the thing is, when it comes, it's 12 pay-per-views a year, sometimes more. I believe, I think in 2019 or whatever, there was 14 pay-per-views that year. Why?
Yeah.
There's no need to have a pay-per-view every month, and 2 times. In 2 months, there was 2 pay-per-views in that 1 month because because SummerSlam happened on a Sunday, and then 2 weeks later, Payback happened. What's the point? Payback happens 2 weeks after SummerSlam. Why?
I think they did the same thing with Backlash last year.
Yeah.
Right after WrestleMania Backlash. What?
WrestleMania, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later, it's WrestleMania Backlash. What? But yeah, WWE needs to wake the fuck up and figure out what they need to do. AEW, you got yourself going on a good path. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Outside the Brain, episode number 124. We will see you guys we'll see you guys on Friday for episode 125, AEW Rampage Championship Friday, and SmackDown. This is the final SmackDown before the Rumble. And then Saturday, it is the Rumble.
Yes, sir.
So
I will be on the road. I will be on the road.
That's right. Gonna be there.
For everybody who's watching the podcast right now, I will be at the Royal Rumble Saturday, so if you're there, come up and say hi to your boy. I have a Milwaukee Bucks mask. It'll be easy for y'all to notice me.
He'll probably bring his WWE Championship. He'll probably wear the
I have
referee
both.
shirt.
Yeah, I have both of the titles on my shoulders with the referee shirt. So y'all already know. Come on, man.
Already
Just
know.
just come up, say hi to your guy. Don't be shy.
He's not that bad of a guy. Trust me. I know him very well.
I'm actually a good guy on the outside.
He's just a demon on the inside. He just hates the world on the inside. It's like, I hate my life. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Episode 125 will come out on Friday, and then episode 126, that will be the Royal Rumble post-show review. Obviously, Nate, you will be on the way home from that, so hey, do whatever you can, man. Just stay home safe. We wouldn't want you, we wouldn't want you to do the podcast and drive, if you know what I mean. So so just get home safe on that night. It's okay. And sadly, I know you'd be rejoining us probably for Monday Night Raw, which nobody would ever want to do, but yeah, it's okay. Just have fun at the Rumble, stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday when that does happen. We'll see you tomorrow anyway, so hopefully. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Turn on the bell, and we will see you guys later. We the ones.
We the ones, baby.
We the ones. Yeah. Roman better retain on Saturday. I'm sorry. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.